Okay, so if you can hear me, this is the second part of the Nita and Heather Gibbons, pardon my manners here, and tonight I'm going to continue the community awareness story, including my personal experience, not just theirs. Mine matters. Because sometimes thinking back, I feel like a used baby. I had to write down some moments so I can remember and not have it taken away from me, including it in memory. I still have the same face. Okay, well, alright. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday the video got shut off, and sorry, but so tonight I'm gonna start off where I left off in thinking trail. Okay, so let's unpackage that. And okay, so at that time, Nita and I, so both of us, were everyday communicating for job reasons, and she was the community West Ada interpreter for about 15 years, and because she had grown up with deaf siblings, she learned a good level of sign. Not sure if ASL, not ASL, but Idaho typical structure communication style. And that was a reason for Heather to be attracted to Nita. And that was a reason for staff to pretty much put her in the mentor teacher's hat position, so that I'd have 1 year to learn from her and proceed with my job plus learning high school. So anyways, right, so over time, during breaks for lunch, so both of us are eating in the staff waiting room, and exchanging conversation and like exchanging more personal topics, and I mean that is more me opening up, being the new worker, bravely my background. And later, right, if I'm liked, that means the friend style of me blooms, and I accept more hanging out time, not just, work ends and I leave. I am like, okay, so yeah, I'll add it into my schedule, see if I'm feeling good or need to go home, check on things, yada 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 yada. So, because I'm still being openly compared to a big, technically a type of skilled at a top tier tier, T, T, oh my god, how the fuck do you say that? Tier. Sorry for language. Okay, so yes, compared to me here still learning how work happens, and if I want to follow what she is teaching me or turn a different route, my own. Okay, so that aside, I finally am like sure, I'd like to like socialize for a little bit after work. Yes, I feel more confident to message, text, and have more conversation, you know, like just normal people conversation, not just to look like a staunty stuck person only focused and hung on work. So during that time, right, yesterday I was explaining that, you know, like emotions, I could see her more filled with her mind and, you know, keeping to herself, and, you know, like me just making sure that whatever niceness for work she gave me, I equally gave back, so that I wasn't like some oh, student or just co-worker, younger co-worker. And so like one day I'm asked if I want to continue something I had said about life, and like different perspectives in communication breaks that like are like this big X in problems out in the world, something, including another topic with LGBT, with those two reasons for conversation, and um, and she is, like, oh, I'm interested in, extending conversation because I find that information. I'm, excited because it's been a few days since I've been thinking about all those topics, and I'm like, sure. And so I'm there, I show up, and so, school ends, the alarm goes off, I gather my stuff, and then I go off to have conversation with Nita. And so yeah, I'm like going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about all of these things that are happening. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like Chicken Little, because I feel like all these things are just happening, and like I'm young, but the world still goes on and on and on, and etc, etc, etc. And then like I get stopped by her being like, that's like she like I'm making eye contact because I'm like finishing a sentence, and ranting on and on and on, all that stuff. And then she like looks at me, and she makes the sign of like stop, right? Like I'm gonna explain or add. And so then she like explains that that type of communication or topics, that is a style of reason for her to need to say things like I am you Gio don't understand how much I am just like holding back, because I am like this close to feeling two things or three things, needing to tell you how much I am attracted, like everything. And remember, I told you guys I was like, dissociate, and I'm gonna wait to hear everything before, feeling awkward or something. And the second thing is her being like, I'm this close to feeling that I need to break up with Heather, and this close to going out and not caring if I find another woman to date. And mind you that, you know, she's experiencing a divorce, and it's from an LDS divorce. Feeling really repressed and all that. And so, you know, I'm like, what happened? And so at that time is when I learned that Nita and Heather, so and at that time both of them are living together, and like half and half of the time, because Heather goes back sometimes to her parents, and you know, like having personal time with her parents and son, family house time. So, you know, like, Heather is wanting the relationship and wanting to convince her parents to accept her and Nita. And on the other side, Nita is experiencing like a high level of identity questions that she is choosing to partially keep to herself and partially share with others. And you know, trying to build a community that starts bringing in new forms of deeper friendship, from old to new for acceptance. And so I'm told, you know, like, 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 I need to feel better, and I'm experiencing conflicting thoughts, all that, and and including the fighting with her relationship. And I'm like, well, first, I'm like, oh, like, I'm friends with Heather too, so it's a little awkward because I'm being told and told and told all the good and all the love, and it's just like whoa, like it just sounds like many things happening really fast, and like really fast, and I'm not picking who is like my preferred friend. I'm just there to listen and provide, advice, suggestions from how it looks and how it sounds, so that there's not like a deep scar left somewhere lost in a knot. And so I'm trying, and remember, this is my first year, which means that I still need to have a good relationship for work, meaning that I'm not going to start this journey of like secrets to the goal of backstabbing, because both work for West Ada School District. I mean, both of us work for Rocky Mountain, and Heather is at Ponderosa and so like I'd prefer that the struggling in the relationship get resolved, but I'm just like being told like I just can't, like I don't feel the love like before, which is like 1 year ago. And I was like, you sure it's not that, like, because I know Heather, and she can be very pushy, like you need to do all these things and it needs to happen, and like suggestions are like ding 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 ding, like ow ow, okay, wait, like trying to say wait, pause for a moment, pause, and then she is more like, no, I heard, okay, and grabs onto that, and then like shuts her ears, and then lives like with her eyes, and including what she believes she heard. And so, she's like pushing all this extra stuff, and I'm like, girl, you are young, and Nita is, in her like late 30s, like early 40, or like experiencing this self identity crisis, and like you need to pause and see what is left in this place, and like see what it means. Wait. And so like I don't want both of you hurt. Yeah, you know, uh, and, like, Nita is attraction to Heather, and feeling that she wants to search for new types in the LGBT community, and and so she finds confidence to tell Heather, and Heather, like, feels all upset and all these things, and convinces Nita to stay, because like Heather is young and has one son compared to 4. And Heather at 26, wants this big family. And, you know, she's like, well, my parents can help with money this much, and with your divorce, you'll maybe receive this much, and, you know, meaning I can, like officially, move in with you, not just sometimes, and I can take care of all the kids, and I am open a little bit to hearing, understanding, your feelings, all of them, not just the beginning relationship, sorry, it's cold, the sentimental, stages for our relationship. And, you know, so Heather, like, really wants this big family. And, she wants to become this big, important mom. And Nita sees her thinking about that because she sees that Heather wants to become, you know, a kid interpreter, children interpreter, or something connected to children, the thought about becoming, you know, a school teacher, all these things. And on the other hand, Nita doesn't like a lot of children weight, because she is more introverted, so she needs, like, this more of time alone, for her, like, her energy pack to be filled, compared to Heather, who is extroverted, only more quiet if she feels not confident. Or she needs to have like a private place where she can have the majority of the power, the control, to feel confident in herself. Heather. And then Nita, well, she experienced not having a lot of voice, like thoughts, decisions in her family, and Heather had all the sweet 16, queen type of relationship with her parents. So, very opposite. And, I'm taking all this in and considering, and, like levels of confidence, like what I've been told, also compared to how I have experienced big levels of confidence, like the flirting stuff, and like the just the levels of openness from Heather, from our past. And so I'm comparing both, and so that's like where I gather like my thoughts, and then give them my perspective. And so then Nita is telling me all these things, and like I can't like handle the information about me, right? So, like I'm dissociating and like pushing it away with changing its course to these things. And I'm being a good co-worker and a good friend, a new friend to Nita. Including her in the group of good friendship with Heather involved. But, I'm just curious. I'm curious for mental health, because, like you, Nita, shouldn't feel like you need to find a good lover for Heather, including including me, trying to push me to think and have feelings for dating Heather because Heather told Nita about the times Heather thought about dating me. And then, I'm just awkward because all those times with each one, I didn't, because I am not attracted. But, awkwardly, I'm being pushed. And, Heather, at the times hanging out with me is telling me about let's try, right? Let's see, with a little flirting, Nita, did she tell you? Because, it's funny, kinda, I should date you, or, what do you think, but jokingly, and both of them still having their own open eye to seeing attraction. And yeah, so those two, just really trying to figure things out, for for relationship survival reasons. And well, me being no, Heather, ha ha ha, remember, you are way into Nita, not me, and I say the same thing, and, I'm, telling them, hey, remember, there's one chick, yes, you, Heather, I am sure that you'd be more into the hot chocolate black man compared to me, a very young brown person. And, that turn into laughter, and, Heather and I can share a moment of keeping it real And, you know, me being the same with Nita, so that both of them are living, experiencing the same, like the same world, not, you know, like that one lost in her fantasy with her goals, and that one also like missing things from Heather's background, and me like finding equal ground, not like I prefer Heather, or I prefer Nita, and you know, I'm gonna be picking the one person that's going to win more compared to the other one, or you know, picking the person that's going to help me more with my career. You know, all those stupid, ignorant reasons. I'm sure both of them have had those thoughts, or like could if they saw this video. But, you know, like take this part of the video and pay attention to what I have said, and not, you know, only closed off to what you want to hear and understand for each of your benefits. Remember, I am the youngest out of the group of 3, and all other friend types, including people I don't know, added into your guys' community of friendship. Yeah. So, you know, like me feeling sad because, you know, she wants a big family. Nita wants to leave alone and experience life without so much weight, and, you know, experience as much as she can, to know what things she wants to add to her life, herself. So feeling really stuck. and both of them opening themselves up about fighting for the relationship and supporting each other with like last suggestions and desires. And so like finally, right, like both of them sorta kinda like are open to me and maybe like one other about like Nita approving another guy for Heather, and Heather sorta kind of approving a woman, a female that Heather could equally be attracted to, with Nita, but like for obvious reasons, the male would have more time, more control, kind of like sexually, with Heather, and the same, the other female would have like more relationship with Nita compared to Heather. I was not old enough to have higher control, to have my suggestions about my opposition to their decisions, to have more power. So those decisions are theirs. I mean, I was there to become a good friend to both of them, and you know, a lot of the time, the young age, the most important last part where a big decision to influence is received, that part didn't happen. What happened a lot of that time was me to be there for their feelings to be included in the LGBT community, with me supporting them with, it's your life, your decision. I can't be that person to make your personal life-changing decision for either of you. And I am here so that each of you have a voice and feel heard. And I know that each of your lives are complicated at the moment because it's LGBT. It's not straight life. And it's difficult to feel that you have this life, this relationship, and to feel forced to know that your family would prefer to not accept, or maybe they haven't been told. And you feel stuck, you feel like you can't keep your experience in life secret, yourselves secret and hidden away. You feel choked and feel alone. So yes, I am here so that you feel you have taken a step for building community and really feeling that you're out there experiencing life in this new you. And I mean, I got invited to, one of the one of the kids, or one of them, one of their birthday parties, and, you know, I got to meet the children. Didn't matter for whose reason. It didn't matter, you know, it was just another step for me and each one of them, their personal life, and then my work life, and like, you know, like maybe more involved with LGBT community. So, you know, here's responsibility, and here's LGBT community of like 4. So, you know, like, you'd believe that that's more in depth with friendship reasons. Not like marriage, polygamous, all these things, reasons. For clarification. Oh, man. I get confused a lot with friendship making because I am nice more times with a lot of things compared to other people and their tolerance and their their patience, and that confuses people here in America that instantly think that I'm flirting or attracted or wanting something sexually or relationship form. And, you know, like I've just had to learn that I've had to dissociate and like redirect carefully, because if like life cross, then it becomes like some backstabby thing. And, which is why I say, I mean, if you happen to get onto Instagram and see these videos, it's all open and straightforward, so that that one doesn't think these things and that one doesn't think these things, and then maybe like both of them get together and start ganging up on me about these things, or and then using the they are older, more mature, and know more and more and more compared to me, because both of them have 7 children and have this much responsibility compared to a person that recently just graduated from high school, negating my work, my effort, and my importance. And to keep all that stuff secret and private in my place to think alone, or whatever fantasy audience out there, if finding this video proves that it's not open full access to help me not be stuck or used and left with scars alone that I can't say or show. If both of them can tally up the level of fairness. Yeah, so both of them actually were taking in big steps. Christian life, LDS life. relishing in a lot of new experiences, with a same-sex relationship, and, you know, building community, you know, like, sort of, kind of, like, extended, friend aunt style with their pics. I mean, like, there were some times that I could stay and show up at late at night for conversation because they were used to me finding time to visit because you know, both of them wanted me to visit and, you know, enjoy an event or like show up with big ears. To like just take in, and then, you know, like me giving out my style of conversation topics, the world, and identity, and everything happening, and yada 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 yada. And oh yeah, and then well obviously, like, my personal journey, things that I'd personally experience. So I was not really the advisor. I'd be the person to be welcomed in, to show up and style all the error examples or lucky me, this happened person, so that, you know, both of them could take it in and use it for their self decision making. Yeah, so, you know, just like random, if possible, type of welcoming into their home, you know, freshen up and have, like, something not regular, and it helped them feel very comfortable with making more changes and adding to their personal life, including like home. We can add these things that are not like the face and body of Jesus or Christ or other saints. Because you know, like, I would suggest something very careful and more like moral, and then both of them needing to have a preference for their heads, their thoughts, their decisions. Yeah. So, you know, it was a little shocking. Like, a little shocking. You know, like, visiting sometimes, and then, you know, like, have me be really nice to bringing in, you know, conversation, and, you know, like, it's their home, and, you know, like I am the visiting accepted guest. So, you know, I have this little say. It's not my house. So, you know, I'm over there, you know, showing up and, you know, starting conversation, and like they are getting comfortable with who they are, meaning, you know, like wearing like a see-through, like a very see-through tank top, like without a bra. You know, it's all, and, you know, like me being like, I'm going to talk up here. Yes, I'm going to like find like your eyesight and like be here. But, you know, like, good on you. You feel better about yourselves. And, you know, like, just, like, those things that, is more not my right to say how they decide to live life. And, yeah, like, but just like always like big chunks, you know, um, for LGBT self-identity versions and or straight type of there has always been, because hold on, so before I continue, so I'm gonna go off and then back on, but the second one is so Nita and I, so both of us ended up driving to a pineapple community, and I didn't know what that meant. So Nita like was like, I'm gonna show you something, and you will never guess what, and you know, Heather thinks it's hilarious, and yeah, so, you know, like, something interesting in Idaho. And then the other thing is, Nita, like, couldn't leave for dating reasons that she wanted for choices. So her mind got like closed in, and she went through feeling like oppressed in power or repressed, and or both, and that made her feel her emotions like very opposite of her calm mental place or emotional place, and so she decided that she really felt trans man, not woman female. And Heather had not found a new man, which helped Nita feel safe, and Heather to feel a little more normal with life, not fully in lesbian world. So yeah, there's those two topics. I'm gonna take that break.